Hello and welcome to the last game of this best of 3. We are watching Mouz and Fnatic battling it out to see who goes to the winner's bracket and who goes to the loser bracket for the Corsair Gaming Summer Tournament. 1-1 is the score, and of course with me is Musik, who is responsible for all the stats that you see inside the game, and my co-caster for today is Kanaz. Welcome back.
Good to be back.
So, Mouz and Fnatic, we've seen 2 games. Naga Siren lost both. Are we gonna see a Naga Siren again?
Yes.
Oh, we'll see. I think
I'm going with yes. I'm going with yes.
Oh. This is the first time that we see the Lone Druid, by the way. The previous times he was banned all the time. And right now he makes it through the draft because we've got a Puck ban. Fnatic has been facing up against Fada's Puck for the past 2 games, and I don't want to do that again. A bit of a respect ban on their side. And Bedrider, Lifestealer, IO, same bans as previous game. Apart from the Bedrider, I guess. But Lone Druid therefore in the pool. Fnatic's picking up the Visage rather than going for the Lone Druid. Fits more in their playstyle. And of course No-Till's Visage, a very strong one. We saw him in the previous 2 games as well. And we're gonna see which hero they want to be complementing that Visage with. And which hero they want to pick up already, now that they know that they're up against and Rubik and the Lone Druid.
Yeah, it's hard to say what they're going to want to go with here. Visage, obviously a very open pick, just starting with a support hero and a very powerful one. That in the laning phase, they can run aggressive tri-lanes very easily. They can also just run defensive tri-lanes. Let Visage work on jungling, maybe move around the map a little bit. They have to kind of decide what kind of strategy they want to take up here. They're going up against Lone Druid. As well as, yep, there it is. I was gonna say, I feel like it's probably Naga, but
yeah, that's what I would say too.
That's why I was going with. I said Naga was gonna get picked when you asked. Okay, whatever. I'm just pleased that they picked Naga.
You're pleased that they picked Naga?
Yeah.
You don't think Naga is a boo hero?
Oh no, I love Naga. I love the rage that Naga brings to viewers. I love that people hate Naga.
Okay.
I also love to hate Naga. She's a very much a hero that everyone loves to hate.
Okay. I'm gonna just say okay and just move on. I'm okay with the Naga Siren here. I mean, he's used as initiator as much as he is used as de-initiator. Is that a word?
No, but I think we'll run with it. Yeah, you're right. But in the last game, I think it was almost all for de-initiating.
Yeah, but it
was
didn't
the
really work
oh
all the
god,
time.
panic button. Yeah, no, it doesn't always work. It feels so scummy when they pop the Song of the Siren just immediately full team TP out.
Yeah.
And you're like, come on guys, let's get serious here.
Let's have
That's
some
not what you want
fun.
to do.
Can we not have some fun? Nope.
Dota's not about fun, it's about ruining other people's fun. I thought everyone knew
Maybe
that.
that's why Mouse looks to be maybe going for a Phantom Lancer or an Anti-Mage. We haven't seen one of Black's normal farming heroes in a safe tri-lane yet. I mean, we've seen him on a Gyrocopter where he started out as a solo lane and then got a tri-lane next to him just to make sure that he stayed alive, which he did, but he didn't get any farm when Fnatic ran an aggressive tri-lane. So far, Fnatic has run aggressive tri-lanes both games, so we might see that again.
Yeah, and I think that's a very important point about how Fnatic have been playing this match. They're always contesting Black's farm. And I feel like that's been the downfall of a lot of teams against Mousesports in recent, I guess, months. There have been a lot of teams that have been just like, no, we got this. We'll let Black farm, and we'll get farm of our own, and we'll be able to do it in the end. And like eventually their carry starts to falter because Mousesports lay pressure on them while Black continues to farm. And they just never really interact enough. Fnatic have been always made sure in this series thus far that they're contesting Black's farm, not allowing him to just get complete and utter free farm. Even that Spectre game, he wasn't the most farmed hero on the map. The Gyrocopter in the hands of Trixie actually was. So, yeah, I think it's a very good strategy against Mousesports. They usually rely on one big carry in the hands of Black, and if you shut him down, they usually struggle a little bit more as the game goes on.
And look, we have got a Bounty Hunter picked up.
Yeah, I wouldn't have bet on that one.
No, and Bounty Hunter was of course one of the first bans that Mousesports did in the first game that we had, and we wondered, you know, why would that be? But perhaps we're gonna see it this game. Trixie Bounty Hunter is gonna be the call, and we're gonna see how aggressive he can get with that, and which heroes they pick up next to that. I mean, last game we had our Life Sealer. Our first game we had a Life Sealer there, so maybe that would have fitted a little bit more just to get some more aggression going. But this game, who is he gonna have in that mid lane or in that carry role that can get the kills together with the Bounty Hunter? That is the question, basically. As we're gonna have Alchemist, Darkseer, Gyrocopter, and Beastmaster banned out. And we'll see what Mouse Sports goes for right now. They still need themselves a mid laner as well as a carry, a black hero. Well, depending, because black can also play the Lone Druid. We've seen him doing that often. So it could be black Lone Druid still, but I really hope that Mouse Sports is going to go for a dual core.
I mean, that's sort of one of the strategies that they've run to great success, and I would imagine that Quakefuzz is going to be handling Lone Druid just from, I feel like most past experiences I've had watching Mouse Sports, they usually favor handing that hero over to Quakefuzz and picking up a different carry for black. But they could just run safe lane Lone Druid farming with black and maybe give Quakefuzz something else. They have a lot of options for heroes that they can run. Dragon Knight, that's a mid hero. That certainly can be considered a core.
Yep. And that's also a very strong hero to, well, a strong hero in terms of he's not easily ganked. Doesn't die very easy. He's not really someone that Bounty Hunter can find when he is level 6 and can kill off very easily. But, yeah, Mouse Sports with that, having themselves a second core. Are we gonna see a tri-core of Mouse Sports? I feel like we haven't seen that for quite some time. Morphling! Look at that! I like this though. Morphling with a Naga Siren on the lane. You've got
There's so much water.
There. That's not what I was gonna say, but yes, there is a lot of water.
So much water in that lane. Like, what are you even doing against that?
Naga Siren and Morphling together. The fish is being kept wet. Oh my god, that sounds very bad actually.
Are they gonna pick Slark?
That would be hilarious. That would be cool. Or
The
Tide
Wombo
Hunter.
combo. They need a. I guess they probably do need a mid hero here.
do.
It could be Slark.
Yep.
It's probably not Slark, but it could be Slark.
Well, it's not a Templar Assassin, because that one gets better. But yeah, Morphling, Naga Siren, you've got yourself the Ensnare, Soul Assumption, Slow, and Morphling. He is very good in making sure he takes the last hits with just a weave form. He can just weave over the top, and boom, he takes the last hits. Anti-Mage gets banned as the last hero for Fnatic, so that means that Fnatic is also expecting a tri-core coming off from Mouse Sports. We're gonna see it now, because they've got 66 seconds to pick up a hero.
Yeah, and you got to imagine it's a black hero here. They could also pick up something else for Quakefa and allow black to play the Lone Druid. It's not out of his skill set by any means. I don't know what they would pick up for Quakefa here. I guess they could go like a Nature's Prophet if they wanted, but that still ends up just being a tri-core, so it's not really superior to just like Lone Druid offlane and pick up another carry. It really just comes down to what they want to do.
Doesn't it always come down to that?
Yeah, basically, teams often do what they want. I think Lone Druid, the matchup solo against Bounty Hunter, is very, very good for Lone Druid. And Tinker, not what I would have expected.
And that's gonna be Black Lone Druid, I guess.
Does look that way.
So we'll see how Mouse Sports run this. We saw them earlier already with an aggressive tri-lane with the Tinker there, and then a safe lane solo for Black, or at least that's how it started out, and then there was an aggressive tri-lane from Fnatic, and they rotated the supports and left Tinker alone. We might see that one again, but we'll have to wait and see. I think Dragon Knight mid then is a safe option to go for. Fnatic picking their last hero, now knowing of course what they expect to be up again in the mid lane. They still need a mid laner, assuming that Naga Siren is indeed a support in this matchup, and they can just pick up whatever they want. The Queen of Pain is still in the pool if they want to go for something like that, but we'll have to wait and see, as Honey is the one to have to play it. Maybe he has a bit of a say in it as well, depending on how strict Fly is.
I got it, it's Kunkka.
That would fit.
That guy's got way more water than the other heroes. Like, the other heroes are like fish, but Kunkka, he just makes water everywhere. Oh, it's Queen of Pain, that's way labor. Where's the synergy, the team theme?
Yeah. But now you've got yourself something that flies, you've got two people that walk. You got one that swim and one that is water on itself.
Yeah, that guy's just made of water.
And Mouse Sports, they've got only walking heroes. No flying, no swimming.
Well, Dragon Knight's flying sometimes.
Yeah, I don't count that.
Alright.
Because then you can say Queen of Pain is flying sometimes as well. Because she blinks.
Yeah, but like, I don't think that's the
She's
same
wings.
thing. Yeah, but she doesn't fly. She just uses them for nothing, I guess. I don't know. To look scary? I have no idea.
No, she is a girl, so she just wants to look impressive.
Alright.
So, explained.
Alright, I'll accept that explanation.
Cool. So let's see who we got where as we waiting for Mouse Sports to actually pick up their heroes. Yeah, Fnatic on the Radiant side, we are gonna see them. Hani will be playing the Queen of Pain, Fly on the Naga Siren once again, Era on a Morphling, No Tail for the third time in a row on the Visage, and Trixie playing his Bounty Hunter, and that is everybody of Fnatic on the Radiant side.
Yep, and on the Dire side, we're going to have Mouse Sports. Cinderin on the Keeper of the Light. Paz taking up the Rubik. Black is currently on the Tinker. Fada on the Dragon Knight, and Quakefa on the Lone Druid.
Yeah, we know that Black sometimes plays the Nature's Prophet as well. We've seen seen him doing that quite a few times, amongst which one recently when he was playing in the EMS1 finals, I believe. So, who knows? Maybe he can do a Tinker very nicely.
No, they swapped.
Well. Oh, never mind.
I was looking at their items, and Black bought a Stout Shield, and I was like, so they're totally swapping. There's no reason to get Stout Shield level 1 on Tinker. It's very, very poor, I think. Yeah, so they're going to swap, run the aggressive tri-lane with Quakefa and Tinker again. Give it another go. Didn't really work out maybe as well as they wanted to the first game. Maybe they'll have a little bit more success this game. I don't know that necessarily that was even what cost them in the first game. I think maybe it was just getting caught out a little bit too much.
Yeah.
So maybe they can make this work and shut down presumably Morphling's farm in this defensive tri-lane from Fnatic.
Yeah, one thing that, whoa, this courier is one brave little thing. Just saying.
Which one?
The one on the side of Fnatic. He is offlaning by himself.
Oh yeah.
But one thing that we can't really assume, like we have to just think about it, and we won't really ever know for sure. Fnatic, of course, they were up against Mouz in the first game. Obviously, it's with best of 3, so they knew then that Mouse Sports ran the aggressive tri-lane with a Tinker there, so they might be expecting the same thing again. And they figured out, wait, what if we just make sure that we have an aggressive tri-lane, but we actually just go on a safe lane because we know that Mouse Sports will be there with their aggressive tri-lane. And they actually plan for this to be a try versus try, and they just want to try and be more aggressive than Mouse Sports is. Or is that too theoretical?
I mean, it's possible that could work out that way. It's like really, really hard to say if that's what their thought process was, especially with Visage already kind of wandering around. We'll see what happens. It's hard to. I'm really not sure who I think wins this lane. There's a lot of nuke that can come out from the side of Mouse Sports, but there's also a pretty good amount to come out from Fnatic, and they also have the much better lockdown in the form of that ensnare.
Yeah, with the telekinesis on one side, and snare on the other, and Fly actually trying to take some farm here perhaps, or maybe he just tries to deny. And of course, if Mouse Sports tries to go upon Fnatic, there's always going to be that soul assumption. If No Chill actually specs that first again, as we saw in the previous game, goes for the slow, actually goes upon Cinderin, in comes Fly, has only got a Riptide, but might be able to just land a little bit of harassment with it. Nope. But the harassment that is already done is actually quite enough to actually use already some regen here on these supports that don't really have that much regen to begin with, because I think they pulled Fada a little bit.
Yeah, Grave Chill is definitely the superior skill if you're just going to get harassment. Cinderid's really low. It's kind of unfortunate that there's not an ensnare there from Fly. That's pretty much definitely a kill, I think, if they have the ensnare. Regardless, Cinderid going to have to use his salve, and they've used a lot of their regen down this bottom lane already, and that's very, very bad for Mouse Sports. If they get all of their regen kind of wasted, they're not really going to be able to keep this aggressive tri-lane up for too long, not without ferrying quite a bit more to them.
Yeah, in the meantime, Black has have an okay time up against Trixie. We've got Black sitting on 6-4 with Trixie sitting on 6-2. So Trixie, I mean, he is okay for now, but the moment that Black hits level 5, it's going to be a lot tougher for Trixie. But when Black hits that, means that Trixie's level 5 as well, most likely, and might even be close to level 6. And hopefully for him, he then goes to rotate. Look at the harassment that comes out on Synderen. Wow, that's a lot of harassment. And indeed, what would you give for a net right there? Or for a soul assumption, for that matter.
Yeah, but they don't, without the Grave Shield, they don't get all the harassment anyway, so like, that's kind of a moot point. And maybe without the Riptide, it becomes difficult as well. Lumina gonna fight through and does pretty good damage. I don't think they're gonna be able to get anyone here. They're going to pause, they might be able to.
That's a weave from Era. Helping out and gets himself a second kill on the board. First kill went to the Visage. Soul Assumption was there in the end. And the second goes towards Era. So nice pickups for Fnatic. They take the first 2 kills. And this is gonna say to Mousesports, you know what, our aggressive tri lane for the second time in a row has failed. And they should probably try to switch it up a little bit. Koifa's still gonna be bottom. Synderen is gonna be with him, but he is mostly gonna be trying to stack those Ancients. And the rotation goes from Puss to top lane to try and make things happen there. And maybe at least slow down Trixie a little bit, because Trixie is having a fun time in middle lane. In the meantime, or in the top lane I mean. In the meantime, in the middle lane, Hani sitting on 13-12, picked himself up 2 null talismans. Going for a very early aggression build. And Fada sitting on 6-5. So Hani definitely winning this matchup here in mid. No surprise, but going for 2 null talismans already when you're already getting ahead is quite surprising. Normally you pick that up when you're a little bit behind and you know that you need that extra oomph like in the mid game. But yeah, interesting build coming out from him.
Well, he's gonna be a little bit stronger in terms of stats right now, and maybe he realizes he doesn't need the regen so much against a hero like Dragon Knight. He's not super concerned about Dragon Knight harassing. And with these null talismans, his right clicks do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, it looks like, oh, Fada is really low.
Yeah, there's the slow. There should be
Chill.
enough. Grave Chill comes out, and when in the end, No Tail takes the kill. No Tail also awarded the ancient stack, so that's gonna render Synderen a little bit useless. But he does have his own sentry ward, so we'll place it and we'll counter it as well.
Yeah, that's a really good rotation from No Tail to get that kill in the mid lane on Fada. Slowing down Dragon Knight is a very, very strong play. If Dragon Knight can't really do a lot in the mid game, he's sort of kind of be more delegated to a harder carry role late game. And that's kind of not what you want when you already have Lone Druid and Tinker on your side. These 3 heroes, you need one of them to be doing something in the mid game. It's probably not going to be really Lone Druid, who's in the hands of Black. We're likely to see a lot of farm going on him. And Tinker, he's struggling in this aggressive tri lane to say the least, so we might not see too much out of him early. So if Dragon Knight's struggling as well, it's going to be kind of awkward.
Yeah, and that's going to be Mousesports trying to turtle it out if that happens. They do have a good lineup for that though. With the Tinker, of course, March of the Machines, you've got Illuminate, you've got Fate Bolts, you've got Breath Fires and all of that stuff. And that's going to be a bit of a comfort for Mouse, but they are indeed probably not getting the lanes out of this that they want to have. And knowing that Era is just happily farming 27-14, he is slightly lower. Oh, they're gonna go up on Koifa here. The slow is there. They're looking to maybe dive, but they have decided not to. So Fly will back off. He had the net, but didn't get in range to cast it. And that's gonna be another counter ward there on the ancient stack for Fnatic as they just counter warded again. Nicely done. And an observer there just in case. 2 wards.
Yeah, it's somewhat unusual that they went for the double block. Maybe they're hoping that Synderen won't notice the observer when he goes to remove the sentry, and then they block another stack sneakily. They're kind of committing a lot to this, but it's not the worst thing. The observer can see part of the river and the forest, so at least it gives some sight while also trying to block.
Yeah, in the meantime, Trixie managed to get a track kill up on the Rubik, so it was 2 versus 1. In favor of Mouse, and then Trixie gets himself a kill, a track kill at that. So really good job right there. And look at that, the sentry ward doesn't or it does counter the other one. So yeah, they will see the ward countered, unless they're going to be going there right now to counter the counter ward that was there to counter the counter ward that countered the counter ward. Nope, they're too late.
There's so much countering.
I know.
Counter. Yeah. Trixie's doing very well on his bounty hunter, which is not particularly surprising. Fada's getting initiated on the mid lane, and it's probably super dead.
One, no, yes. There goes Illuminate. It's only level 1 though. Level 2 still up on Synderen. Was this Keeper of the Synth not really leveling all that well? We have got level 2 up on Synderen as well as on the Rubik. That's the downside of running an aggressive trial lane. That's the risk of doing that. And it's a pretty big risk. We've got level 3 and level 4 up on the supports of Fnatic. Also not that high, but still a lot higher than the level 2s and level 3s now also for Mouse Sports. Of course, you need to have that level 6 up on the Rubik more than anybody else on the side of Mouse Sports, just to make sure that you get that spell steal. On the side of Fnatic, you need the familiars on No Tail and Naga Siren. You really want to have that song for the extra control, so levels maybe for Fnatic a little bit more important overall than for Mouse Sports, but you still want to have that Rubik at level 6. Synderen though, gonna find Trixie, or vice versa actually. Kanaz, one more hit needed, there we go, and that's gonna be another track kill, solo track kill for Trixie, who's having a field day with these level 2 supports that come towards his lane.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 auto attacks and a shuriken toss, and that's a kill.
Yep.
They can't afford to be giving up these track kills to Trixie. If he gets really big, the amount of pressure a bounty hunter can really put on your lanes in the mid game is kind of insane. Those track kills as well, once like team fights they're having, if that gold's building up and they're already at an advantage, so it's going to be easier for them to take the team fights.
Looks like Quite Fast dead.
Ahead.
Very dead even. TP comes in
So
from the Rubik, but Rubik, I think you need to run.
Yeah, there's a chance Hani goes for that kill if Rubik comes any closer. And now they're trying to steal this ancient stack. They know it's been going on. They don't really have a great way of farming it, so they're kind of doing the little pull it back a little bit, give it some right clicks, and now they're gonna back off because Synderen shows up. I don't know if this is what Synderen wants to be doing.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty well. No, he's gonna be okay. If you slow Synderen there, he's gonna take so much harassment from those ancients though. But no, don't go for it. And of course the result, or at least that was the result of Mouse Sports not having the river warded, so Tinker just got ganked and he had no idea. He was totally oblivious to that. He is going to take the Ancient still, so we'll be getting some extra amount of gold as we have got a bit of a gank coming up from Trixie, who's sitting in a mid lane between tier 1 and tier 2. In comes Queen of Pain, goes for Synderen, track kill, Circuit, another track kill. It is 8-0 on the kill score, by the way. Mouse Sports, we mentioned already that they've got a good turtle lineup. Looks like they're gonna get forced to use it. On the bright side, there's no towers down, I guess.
It's just really smart from Fnatic with this draft. They saw early on that Mouse Sports were really picking up this very, very slow, dirty defensive lineup. It was gonna want a ton of farm, so they started picking up heroes like the Bounty Hunter. Naga is a support. They went with Morphling, who, like, he can use a lot of farm, but he can also abuse just getting early farm and go for the shotgun build, which, while not as effective as it used to be, is still really, really devastating for under-leveled supports. And they just punish them in lane. And now Mouse Sports have this greedy lineup that's behind in gold, behind in experience.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're going to be able to hold out long enough. They have a great turtling lineup, you're right, but Fnatic's going to be able to get a lot of advantage very quickly with stuff like track.
Yeah, we have Black with the Hand of Midas, by the way, so he is getting extra gold, so he's highest on that worth. The question is it worth that? Fada gets called out of position completely, tries to go invisible with the rune, but, I mean, you can't go invisible on your enemy's tower, it's just not possible. And instantly smoke off of Fnatic.
You can go invisible, they'll just still see you, so it's not really that useful.
Yeah.
They're smoking up and they're going top lane. This is a very, very needed gank. They need to get a kill on Black. Like you said, the Midas is up. It's definitely a worthwhile pickup. He needs to get as much farm as possible. This is the sort of thing we see Admiral Bulldog do all the time. Track starts though, and they're going to start the engagement.
Yeah, in comes the TP. Dragonite, in comes the net as well. In comes Fada, goes for Trixie. That's the first kill that Mouse Sports get. But Black though will be going down for it, and that's a worthy pickup for Fnatic, and they might get Fada as well. Illuminate will fly through, does a little bit of harassment to Hani, who jumps himself into trees. Dragon Tail, no tail, will be the second kill for Mouse Sports this game. But again, still worth it to kill off Black.
Yeah, it's track kill too, so it's probably worth it. They're gonna go on Fada as well, and they should be able to get this.
Yes.
And that's gonna make it seem a lot better.
Nice Dragon Tail though, Fly taking still a lot of harassment. That's still gonna be indeed a kill. So that's definitely gonna make it even more worth it than it was before. The other core, basically, that Mouse Sports has just got taken down. In the meantime, Quakefast trying to still get his boots of travel up. He still needs about 400, 300 or 350 gold or so though. So it's not just there yet. But at least he is getting there at some point. Oh, and with that kill on the Lone Druid, it's now actually Aero that's highest on net worth.
Yeah, and I think Morphling is going to have a
God.
pretty huge impact if he's able to get this Linkens quickly. Oh.
Look at this guy
gosh.
though. Level
Yeah.
4 Rubik. Up against the level 8 Trixie on the Bounty Hunter.
And a level 11 Queen of Pain.
Yeah, not to mention Hani, indeed.
Definitely less than ideal. Track on Fauna in the mid lane just for, I think, value. I don't know. These track kills are going to start burying Mousesports in a mountain of gold if they can't make something happen. They got those 2 kills in the top lane, but Fnatic also got 2 kills. They were on very, very relevant heroes, and they're ahead by 10.
Yeah, that's pretty painful. We do have the gold graph no longer going in favor of Fnatic though. I mean, it's still in favor of Fnatic, but it's no longer going up. And that's of course because of the Tinker continuing to farm the Ancients, and he now has his boot to travel as well, so we'll continue to farm there as well. We've got Black continuing to farm on the top lane, and Fnatic is now rotating a lot like we saw them do earlier, just to try and make things happen, and that's costing them a little bit here.
Yeah, Fnatic need to be making these kills happen, and then they need to start actually taking towers on the back of some of these kills. They haven't been able to really capitalize thus far, and that's kind of the one saving grace for what's been happening to Mousesports. They've been sort of losing the fights, but they're not losing map control, at least not yet. As a result of it, all of their tier 1s in pretty good shape. So, I don't know, they're going to go for another gank in the top lane on Black, and Fly and No Tail are already there.
Yeah, you're just waiting for Trixie to scout things out.
It's still really risky for them to try and go for the tower dives against the Lone Druid. He's got level 2 of his ultimate now, so he's sitting at like 1600 HP. If the TP support's there, it can be pretty devastating. Fly's gonna go in though.
Yeah, let's see the TP. It's gonna be Rubik first. Soul Assumption does a little bit of damage, but with Rubik TPing and they're actually backing off, even though it's just a level 4 Rubik. Where there's one, there's more, and they're gonna have more supports incoming soon. Or at least not really supports, because it is Queen of Pain that comes in. Here comes a song, more TPs to TP into the song. Dragon Knight as well as Tinker want to try and make things happen here. Tracks go off, and it's actually Fnatic that back out. Still have Hani sitting around the corner with the Sonic Wave. They might try to make something happen here, but at least they made sure that now all of a sudden, oh, they're gonna go on Fada. Sonic Wave hits on everybody. Pass was already dead. Double kill for Hani, and Black being the last one here gets tracked up, goes down as well, and that is Fnatic just making it happen there. And just making good use of their being ahead. I mean, a level 2 Sonic Wave flying through a level 4 Rubik, yeah, that's gonna hurt. He did get level 5 with that fight though. Good.
Yeah, the fact that that Sonic Wave hit everybody completely secured that fight for Fnatic. They were already outnumbering them, which is obviously very powerful. But once they hit 3 people with the level 2 Sonic Wave, and like it took away at least half of everyone's HP, that's a lot of AoE damage, and they really had nothing after that. They just went down, they melted. That was 2 track kills for 4 heroes. Fnatic, that's exactly what they need to do. They get the tower as well. Yep. Definitely good play.
And track kills 2 of the 3 is actually was it 3 track kills?
I don't
was
think
Fada
Rubik was tracked. Fada was. I don't think Rubik was.
Yeah, Rubik was.
Oh, Rubik was? Then I think it might have been 3.
Then it was 3. That's insane.
Middle tower has been denied.
Deny on the tower.
Denial,
The first
yeah.
tower that goes down on Fnatic is Deny. Mousesports. I just said like the gold graph has been even for a while, as in no longer spiking up. But with those track kills and with that tower, it all of a sudden down or up towards almost 7,500 gold for Fnatic. And I mean, Mousesports, they can still turtle, but it's starting to look a little bit grim with Black now dying twice in a row. He's almost got his relic though. So that might be something, and when he has his Radiance, we might see a change of pace for Mousesports, but for now, everybody else is so behind that everything is in the hands of Black there, no pressure.
Yeah, he's almost got his relic. Era has a Lincoln's done. It's
Yeah.
16 minutes in, he's got 760 gold beyond it. He's quite farmed on this Morphling, and the really scary part is Hani has even more farm than Morphling at the moment from all these kills. He's getting close to a scythe, and at the rate he's going, he should have it at about 18.5 to 20 minute mark. That's a really fast scythe of eyes on a Queen of Pain.
It is. Pretty painful. Pretty painful.
Well,
and
that's
then
like her thing.
then you're gonna have a lone druid that tries to do as much as he can, but I mean, if he has
He's
no
gonna be a
support,
pig.
the bear is gonna be a pig, I think. I don't think that matters that much though. Like the Radiance Burn will still go through. Oh Tinker, what are you taking so much damage for? Oh Trixie found him. One Janata, one more hit. No, doesn't get it. Rockets flying, telekinesis. Trixie down in range of the tower, but they won't be able to catch him. No dust in the hands of Pass. There is a sentry from Cinderin, but I don't think. Nah, they're not gonna go for this. 6 minutes faster. Over 6 minutes faster for the Lincolns up on Era. That's insane.
Yeah, that's real fast. Fly is about to get in some trouble in this top lane, though.
Oh, let's see. Fly entangled and dead. Lone Druid with the first or with a kill in the game, second kill of the game. I was gonna say first, but I forgot that he already got a kill earlier. They do lose the tier 1 tower on the bottom lane, and they might actually lose a tier 1 in the middle lane. The way at the rate that Era is going at it. So it's a pretty good trade, I guess. I mean, it's to support Naga Siren for 2 towers and a lot of map control that you're gonna be able to use against Mousesports as well. If Era takes this. There we go. And in the meantime, they're gonna get a kill on Pass as well. Pass, who is still level 5 at 18 minutes into the game. Who really needs to have his level 6 because he is a Rubik. He steals skills at level 6. Song, top lane, looking for Fada, finding Fada. In comes the Riptide. Net can happen as well, but I don't think it's needed even. Trax goes off, and that's gonna be Fada dead. Wow, Era wanted to take that kill, but no, Trixie takes it.
Yeah, I mean, he got there for the track gold, though, so
Yeah.
whatevs. And they're gonna head to the probably mid lane again now. It's hard to say. I think they need to continue the pressure, though. That relic, it should be up on Lone Druid now. I can't. Where's Spirit? Yeah, it is up. So he's gonna have the Radiance now. He has the gold for the recipe. That's a pretty good time for Radiance, all things considered. The problem is that everyone is so farmed on Fnatic from all this track gold. It's gonna be kind of hard to just push them out. Even the supports aren't doing that poorly on their side.
Yeah, it's... Like, what do you expect Mousesports to do right now? Because, of course, I mean, they are very well aware that they are behind, so how are they gonna turn this game around after their Lone
Make sure
Druid
Black doesn't get
goes
picked
down?
off, and Black is getting picked off.
Yeah, there's a net holding him in place. Should be enough damage. Another Riptide, and that's another kill for the Queen of Pain. Maybe we might see Fly go down. One more tower hit should do the trick. At least that is a trade, but still you don't want to trade your Lone Druid to anything right now. In comes Fada, tracked up, does take down another support, but again, a trade that you do not want to make. Now they go for the rest, Pass goes down. Again, that's a double kill for Hani, and that is only a Keeper of the Light and a Tinker alive, and I mean, that was not necessary for Fada to go in and die there. And not worth it either for taking down a Visage.
Yeah, and he got tracked up before he died,
Yep.
so there's no way he got as much out of it as Fnatic did. Yeah, you can't make trades when you're up against Bounty Hunter. That's like the very core power of that hero, is that trades are actually favorable for you because of track. And when these trades are happening, Fnatic are getting further and further ahead. Like, and when they're getting free kills, obviously it's even better. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Free
It's
kills.
gonna be tough. It's definitely gonna be very tough for Mousesports to take this. Black, I mean, we saw he just kind of melted, even though he's a very tanky hero just naturally with that true form.
Yeah, and just the supports of Mousesports still being level 5 and level 6, that make for such easy track gold. Like, okay, you get a kill, that is nice on its own already. But getting track kills is just free gold walking around every time that you see someone not in range of a tower. And even sometimes in range of a tower, if there's nobody around, why not go for it? And it makes it very tough also, of course, for both Pass and Cinderin to actually do something still in this game. Because the moment that they step out of their comfort zone, they have a risk of going down. And that means that they can't really go out of their way to ward as good as they might want to, because it's just not safe to go there. And it's just overall costing them a lot. Fnatic take down a tier 2 tower, and we'll be going on to the tier 2 mid as well. March of the Machines, Rockets, Quickfire tries to do what he can. He has got the Blink Dagger, and it will help, but the question is how much.
Yeah, Mousesports is sort of the one beacon of hope in this game is that both Quakeva and Black aren't doing that poorly. They've both been able to find at least some farm. Obviously, Black is doing rather well with the Radiance and the Midas up on the Bear, but he's not doing like fantastic. He hasn't been able to really get any headway into another item past the Radiance. And Quakeva's got Blink Dagger, Boots of Travel. He can move around, put pressure on places in the map, try and keep lanes pushed to buy time for Black. So even though the 3 heroes on their team are doing pretty much nothing at this point, with Dragonite and the 2 supports being completely shut down, if they can buy enough time for Black, they can still hold out in this game.
Time. Buying time. Good luck, Black. You're gonna need it. His bear is trying to farm some on the top lane so he doesn't have to put himself at risk. And this is of course a very nice way for him to farm, but one downside that you have for it is that you don't get the experience from the kills that you actually do.
But he did trade the Midas to his hero, so he's going to be able to use that to try and mitigate the experience lost from pressuring in the other lane.
That helps a ton, actually.
He has to, there we go. He has to remember to use the Midas though, which he had not done yet.
They're gonna find bottom. Here's the song already. Black can pull his bear out if he wants to. There it is. But it is still gonna be Fnatic that's gonna initiate. They're waiting for Trixie, maybe. He's a little bit late. Nice Sonic Wave. Fala's already getting burned to death. Black is gonna be the next target. Goes down as well. Synderen and Quakeva on the run. Pass. Do I even need to mention him? Nope. Because he's dead. Synderen, dead. And that's a GG. That's a GG. That is a very convincing fight coming of Fnatic. And of course, the reason that Fada was back here was because... Why was Fada back there? Did he have an Aegis? No. Did he buy back? Maybe he did, because but I can't see it anymore because he... Oh yeah, he bought back, so he can... Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, he bought back.
Yeah. But that was... I mean, Fnatic just dominating the game, and that's why we saw Bounty Hunter banned out in the first game. Even though it wasn't just him, but it did help a ton.
Yeah, I think Mouse Sports kind of got caught up in how the rest of the series had gone, where Fnatic was willing to play the slower, grindier games, and then they sort of went for a team that was going to be very good at that, and Fnatic just jumped all over it, picked a very aggressive lineup, took advantage of the early game, and never let it go. 25 minutes in, Mouse Sports were pushed completely out, down by 20 kills.
Yeah, that's a pretty painful ordeal, and with this, of course, Mouse Sports will be going to the loser bracket of the Corsair Gaming Summer Tournament. That is indeed what you have been watching. Tomorrow we'll have another matchup. It will be IC Cup taking on Empire for their first game of these playoff brackets, and one of the two will go to join Mouse Sports in the loser bracket. The other one will join Fnatic in the winners bracket, and we'll see tomorrow at 1700 who that is. So hopefully you'll tune back in then. As of course you can check out gc.corsair.com if you want to win a fully decked out Corsair gaming PC. All you have to do is like on Facebook and enter your email address. That's it. It's like done. So make sure you do that because you want to win that PC. And yeah, that's basically all. Of course, I've been casting together with Kanaz, who was my co-caster. Do you have any shoutouts and plugins?
Yeah, if you like my casting, follow me on twitch.tv/Kanazda or on Twitter @KanazDota, and I don't really have any shoutouts today.
Okay. Well, of course, my our statsman was Musik. Today you can follow him on Twitter @MusicStats and on Twitch @MusicDota. So go do that, as well as, of course, for following me on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube and Facebook and etc. on SheeverGaming, all under the same name. That's it for tonight, or at least in terms of competitive Dota on this channel. If you want to continue watching more Dota, in particular more Dota from Mouse Sports, you can join yourself on the Join Dota Red stream. They named all their thingies differently, so Join Dota Red or JD Red, I don't know how they do it, or just Red. I'm sure you can find it. And you can watch Mouse Sports taking on Liquid, I believe, in the defense playoffs. So go do that, or stick around here to watch commercials, which will support me, and that's also very helpful. So thank you for watching regardless, and see you in a moment.